Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. If you are new to the channel, welcome. This is Richard for WELSHYTECH, and today we have a air cooler from Valkyrie. This is the Surge SL125. It says 230 watts for the TDP. Should you buy it? Let's find out, shall we? Okay then, so this is the Valkyrie Surge SL125. This is a CPU cooler. That's the TDP, 230 watts. Now let's have a look what comes in the box. Okay, so first of all, this is probably a warranty guide. That's what it looks like. Yeah, warranty policy. The installation guide. Now what I will say for Valkyrie is they do show a fantastic installation guide. They have, with many of the coolers I've had off them, these installation guides are fantastic. So if you want to know how to learn to do it, obviously I'm going to show you, but I'm just saying that it's great. Now, as for what comes in the box, now with Valkyrie, they're starting to push even further and further now outside the box with different types of products. Now these, obviously this is like Intel, AMD, and we'll get to that now. And then we get the cooler by here. Now yes, it is a one fan cooler, very nice looking fan, very nice. And then we got the cooler itself, and yeah, look, it's got pre-applied thermal paste already. I like the design. Let's have a look at the overall package, shall we? Okay, so this is everything included, which isn't bad. Now as for the specs for this particular cooler, well, what I'm going to really say is give you the specs right now, tell you the overall dimensions, the overall height, what CPUs it supports, so forth. So as for size, it's a 120 by 72.5 by 155. The heat pipe dimensions are 6mm, 4 pieces, so it's got 4 heat pipes. It's a the fins, how many fins are there, is 48 number of fins. The weight is 0.98 kilograms. Radiator fins, they are a 0.4mm gap with a 2.2mm, so not bad. The base material is a HDP. The pipe material is copper. Radiator fins are aluminium. Manufacturing process, press fin. The TDP is 230 watts, like I said. This is the model, which is a Valkyrie B12. The fan material is PBT, GF 30%. Frame, PC blades. Now the fan is 120 by 120 by 25, so it's a standard PWM fan. The fan speed ranges between 800 and 2150 RPM, so that's not bad. The noise rating is 30.5 decibels. That's not bad either. Now the airflow for this, for a single tower, is actually quite high. It's 81.68 CFM, and the slab pressure is also quite high. It's 4.0 millimeter H2O. Now the current is 0.2 amps with a 12 volt. It's ARGB Gen 1 with a fluid dynamic bearing. So as what coolers it actually supports, it supports LGA 1150, 1151, 1155, 1156, 1200, 1700, 1851, AM4 and AM5. So let's get this installed and see how good it is, shall we? Okay, so when it comes to the installation, it's quite straightforward. It does show you in the manual. So you've got 4 standoffs here. This is specifically for AM5. So you just place from that, and then you repeat the process until you've got them all installed, and then they're done. Now as for the brackets, you're the AM4 or AM5 brackets. What you do is you put one side there like this, and then you put it like this, that side. Then you get these are little nuts that you've got to screw on. But first of all, what you want to do is just do it finger tight. You don't have to do in a crisscross pattern, but I'm just doing it this way anyway. But very simple. Once you've got the thread in, just use that, and that's done. Now just screw them down like this. You don't want to screw them down too tight because you could damage the threads. Just tighten them down to a certain point. Now, as this cooler does come with its own thermal paste applied, I will be using the thermal paste that comes inside the accessories. So this is the thermal paste that's included inside the accessories. I'm going to use this because it is the exact same paste that's actually applied on the cooler. So seeing as this is so small, just there and like that. Obviously you don't need to put this much on, but obviously it's going to be dependent on what you've read or watched online. But here we go. So take the cooler. Now obviously the Valkyrie logo will have to be up like that. Place it down, both sides, and trust me, you will know when the threads have actually caught. So what you want to do is one side first, like that, and then you repeat the process until it fully bottoms out. Okay, with that installed, now you want to take the fan, you want to place the bracket on each side, and then what you want to do is place it here like this. Well, first of all, you want to grab this, put that there. Make sure this doesn't pop out, because that's where it holds the cable. And then like that. Then you want to go like this and clip it on. Like that. Very simple. As for connecting it up, now yes, it does use a proprietary cable, but this will be easier for cable management because it's just one cable. So you want to connect up one side like that while it's connected up. Now of course this by here is a 3-pin ARGB header. It does come with a daisy chain with the pins already there. That's fantastic. And then of course it is 4-pin PWM. So what I'm going to do now is show you what those headers look like. Okay, so this by here, this is a ARGB header. That is what it looks like. It's a 3-pin prong with 3 little pins popping up, and then when it comes to a PWM header, that's what it looks like. Now of course this is system fan too. CPU fan headers are usually more up toward the CPU socket, but this is what a 4-pin PWM connector looks like, and that's what an ARGB header looks like as well. This is the Valkyrie Surge SL125 at 50% fan speed. At 50%, it's very, very quiet. Same thing, but 100% fan speed. Yeah, it's got some noise, but with the side panel off, you wouldn't really notice. Okay then, so when it comes to the system I use for testing, it is my AM5 platform. It is a B650 motherboard with an AMD Ryzen 9 7900. Does have 32 gigs of DDR5. It has an RX 7800 XT Nitro from Sapphire. It's also got a 1000 watt cooling power supply, and it's also housed in the Shadow Base 800 FX with 4 140 Lightwing fans from Be Quiet. Okay, so as for testing now, the room temperature before I started testing was 20 degrees, and the temperatures did go up by 3, so we went up to 23 degrees. Now I've done 2 different types of tests. I've done one at default and one at 100% fan speed. So the default power draw as well. The power draw for default is 90 watts. That's what the 7900 is at default. So for default settings, the Cinebench R23, the idles are 35 with a max of 65. Blender Pavilion, idles 35 with a max of 61. Blender Pavilion, the idles are 35 with a max of 61. Blender Classroom, 35 at idle, 62 at high. And 3D Mark Super Test, idles 35 with a max of 79 Celsius. As for the 100% fan speed, well, the CPU power draw was 158 watts with a low at 146. The CPU clocks were 5.4 at high and 5 gigahertz at low. Now, as for the testing, the idles were 31 Celsius at idle with Cinebench, and the max was 92 Celsius, but the average was 86 Celsius. Blender Pavilion, the idles were 31 with a max of 91, but the average was 87 Celsius. Blender Classroom, idles 31 with a max of 91 with an average of 87. And 3D Mark Super Test, the idles were 31 with a max of 80 Celsius. Now what I'm going to do by here is put up a graph showing you how this compares to other single tower coolers, like from Thermalright, like the Digital R, the 120, the the Burst Assassin, the Assassin King. Any other single tower coolers I've tested on my AM5 platform, I will be putting inside this graph. So make sure you continue to watch. The graph will show up right now. Valkyrie. Okay, so this cooler by here is £27 on CCL. The black version is 25. Now, first of all, I'm going to tell you what I actually do like. Now, I like the white. I like the overall RGB. The mounting system is fantastic. The cables, there's a little bit left to be desired because I don't like proprietary cables, but that's just me. And quite honestly, it's a good air cooler to have over like a stock air cooler from AMD or Intel. If you're looking for an air cooler that's good or better than the stock air cooler, then this is definitely something for you. But if you're looking for something to overclock with, then don't buy this, because this isn't a cooler that'll be able to benefit you when it comes to overclocking or even unlocking PBO with AMD. So if you're looking for something that will be able to get the most performance out of, you're best getting a dual tower or an AIO, which these days you can buy anywhere. But if you want to buy this to upgrade from a stock cooler, then I will leave links down below so it gives me a kickback as well in the description. Big thank you to Valkyrie. I do have the V360 LCD as well yet to review. It's actually on my personal system, which is a 900X, so that's gonna come out soon. I've got this one behind me that's gonna be coming out Saturday, so make sure you subscribe. And as always, I hope you guys have a fantastic week and weekend ahead of you. This is Richard for WELSHYTECH. Goodbye.